Why is it that all my hobbies cost a lot of money? What's up, my nerds of the internet, and welcome to Sunshine Manga! My name is Jade, and I created this channel to share my love of manga and anime and cosplay and Disney and Ghibli and many more nerd fan type things. I am a big lover of anime. I remember getting into anime in early high school and then fell in love with manga after a big breakup. But I did collect beforehand as well. But for today, I wanted to do a Q&A so you guys can get to know me a little bit. And so, I can answer some of your questions. I held a poll on my Instagram story and on my TikTok, and you guys have a lot of questions. So let's get through them. All right. So, question 1, what bookshelves do you use? So I use the Billy bookshelves from IKEA with extra shelves on them. I believe IKEA bookshelves come with 5 shelves, and I have like 2 extra shelves on each one. They're literally just the size of a manga. Like, I can put my finger just there. And that's how I measured how I wanted my shelves, so it's the exact size of it, so that it's nice and consistent up to the top and bottom. But those are the shelves I use. I know there's another one, like the Hermes? Don't quote me on that. I will have pictures up. That I'm pretty sure is really cool as well. It is a little bit pricier than the Billy, but they look really nice, and if you aren't moving, I've heard they're amazing. So, how do you store your extra Nendroid pieces? This is a great question. So I actually have it right here. This is how I store my Nendroid pieces. Normally they're not on my bookshelves, but I was moving my room around the other day and here they are, which I got this one from a dollar store. And I'm so upset that I didn't grab more because they were only like $4 from the dollar store and they were like $20 from Michael's. I think they're like a little bit cheaper on Amazon, but it's great because you can just snap and then all the pieces. It's literally perfect. Like, all the extra pieces fit perfectly in these little compartments. I've seen people do drawers and stuff, but I really like this. Like, I don't know what you call it. It's like a carrier. Like, it's got the handle, which is nice. So like, if I need to pick it up and do things, and then obviously it goes by layers. So like, if I just want the top layer, here's the other layers. Some Nendroids come with so many like big pieces that I've had to put it in like 2 slots, but like, whatever. It is what it is. But this is what I use. I will try and like put the link in the description if you guys want to get one of these for yourselves, but that is how I store my Nendroid pieces. What is your favorite manga without an anime adaptation? That's hard. Like, any? I mean, I loved Living Room Matsunaga-san. I feel like that would have, like, I'm like, if that man ever gets animated, I'm like, Spy X Family got one recently. Oh, A Sign of Affection. Oh my gosh, I want an anime for that. I feel like it would be like dramatic but sweet and lovely, so we're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with A Sign of Affection. What was your first manga and anime? My first manga I actually have right here. Haha. This was my first manga back in early high school. I want to say grade 9. My friend actually let me borrow her copy of Princess Jellyfish, and I loved it so much that when I got my allowance, actually no, it wouldn't have been an allowance. I was working and I didn't do allowances. When I got my first paycheck, I went and got Princess Jellyfish Volume 1, which is how you can tell it is probably my most beat up book. It's bent in the front, some of the pages are frayed, it's yellowed a little bit, but it has been loved. This has been brought on like camping trips, thrown in bags, which is really funny because normally I OCD with these kinds of things and I would just buy a new one, either donate this one or sell it for really cheap, but there's something about your first manga that's like special. But yeah, she's $25.99 Canadian, so like, she's pricey. I mean, it's $20 in the US, so it's still not like expensive there, but I'm like, we had to spend an extra $6 here plus tax, so. But this was my first manga. As for my first anime, oh wait, was it Vampire Knight or was it Black Butler? It was one of the two. I think it was Vampire Night. I'm like, I never did Twilight, I did Vampire Night, so that would be my first anime. Did you watch anime during high school? Yes! So the first anime I watched, to tap on the last question, was Vampire Night. I'm recalling that. That was actually middle school, and then I actually fell away from the anime for a little bit, and then I remember it because something clicked after this. So let me paint the scene. I'm doing homework that's due the next day because I'm procrastinating and decided to start an entire social studies project the night before, and I want something to listen to. I'm someone who likes to listen to like music or like a podcast. I like to listen to stuff as I'm working. When Kiss Anime, RIP, was still around, I decided to just throw on something that I guess had a new episode out, or it was like the featured anime of that week, and that happened to be Fairy Tail, the dub version. And I know people are gonna come for me. I know sub is supreme, okay, sub is so good, but for some reason, I like watching Fairy Tail in dub, and I think that's because that's what I just started with. And so I put Fairy Tail on in the background, and I'm like working away, and then all of a sudden, I see myself just looking at the screen, and I'm like, what was it, like 11 episodes in? I'm like, well, I guess I'm handing in this assignment late because I just got so into it. So Fairy Tail I watched, that was my first one that got me back into it through high school, and then obviously I watched it throughout high school. I'm like, we're on High School Host Club. I watched Full Metal Alchemist. We watched a bit of Haikyuu. I never fully got into that. I'm like, Yuri on Ice. I remember all the girls freaking out at con for that, but yes, I did watch anime in high school to sum up that whole little story. How did you hear about anime for the first time? So, I used to live in a complex. I guess I live in a co-op now, so like, not much has changed, just kind of like how things are run. A girl that I knew who I became friends with, she introduced me to Vampire Night, and I actually went to TsukinoCon with her a few years, and it was like, it was stimulus overloaded at the first time I'd ever been to a convention, and I'm like, there's a lot of nerds here. Now I'm one of the supreme nerds that go every year, and I'm super sad that it's been like canceled the past 2 years, but yes, she's the one that showed me it, and then I kind of got back into it in high school, like I mentioned, but she introduced it to me. Where can you find cheap manga in Canada? This is a question that I got a lot. I'm like, for my Canadian babes that are wanting to collect manga, I'm like, it's expensive! And I used to say, Right Stuff Anime. I'm like, save up some coin, their discounts were so good, and you hit that free shipping threshold mark, oh. And then they got rid of free shipping, and all of us are sad. And I know they just got bought out by Crunchyroll recently, and they took away everyone's 18 plus discounted merch. Right Stuff Anime, what are you doing? What are you doing? So that's what I would used to say. Honestly, I want to do a little more research into this question and do a full video on it, because right now I would say Book Depository, you can find some good things on there. Vinted, Depop, but like Depop's super scammy, so I'm like, I wouldn't totally recommend that, and Facebook Marketplace. I actually scored all 18 volumes that were on High School Host Club on there for $40 because a girl was moving and she just didn't want to bring it with her. I also needed Orasama Teacher Volume 16, I think, and this lady was helping their kids sell their books or something, and they had Volume 16. I'm like, hey, can I just buy the one volume? And they're like, no, we want to sell it as a lot. So I bought the lot for $40, got the 16, and then made a $200 profit. But that's another thing. So Facebook Marketplace, definitely, but I'm definitely gonna make a video for my Canadian babes and other people too. Like, maybe I can find like discounted places that not only work for Canadians, but others too, so stay tuned. But I'm like, definitely check your secondhand places. I'm like, we don't have Goodwills here, and I've seen other YouTubers find discounted manga there, and I'm like super jelly. I have never seen a manga in a thrift store, at least not where I live on little old Vancouver Island. I know that if you do live on Vancouver Island, Russell's Books is really good, but I'm gonna do more research into that. So yes, love you, my Canadian babes. What's better, Demon Slayer or My Hero Academia? They're both great! I love them. They both have their own quirks. My Hero Academia. I love them both. I can't really compare one to the other because they're different. So I love them both. I'm like, I can't be biased. I love them both. If you could voice act in one series, which would it be and why? like, I guess it would have to be a dub because I'm still a novice at Japanese. I can like pretty much only introduce myself and that's it. But if I could voice act in a series, I feel like I'm like Snow White with the red hair. Like if I could be Shiryuki, like Prince Zen, hello. We love. Or oh, Kami-sama Kiss would be so much fun too. Or like Run. I like the romance comedy series. For those who don't follow me on TikTok or Instagram, that's probably my main. So yeah, let's go with Snow White with the red hair or Kami-sama Kiss. And just because I'm like the fantasy, I also really like, well, I guess Snow White with the red hair isn't really fantasy. It's just like ancient. I like castles and royalty. I just think that's cool and she's like skilled. As far as Kami-sama Kiss, I'm like, it's magic and there's like a hot fox guy, so like, why wouldn't? I know that I'm not even going to the world, it's just voice acting, but I don't know. I think it would be cool to like be a part of that. So those are the two and why. What is your favorite and least favorite manga cover in your collection? Okay, I gotta go find them, hold on. Okay. So I just took a boo at all my ones that I thought I would have my least favorite cover, and it's not a least favorite cover. I pretty much like all the covers of my manga, so I'm gonna do least favorite spine, which is definitely Kiss Him Not Me. The brown and yellow. What were you thinking? Who approved this? Okay, it is probably my least favorite spines in my entire collection. Like, even like the black spines with other colors, which I don't normally like to keep up. I normally keep all my white spine ones up just because it brightens up the room. So like, and most of them are like shonen ones that are darker spine, like Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm like just looking over there, we got Chainsaw Man and all that. This one is a shoujo one though, so it is on my shoujo shelves and it is on the bottom, pushed into the corner, because the spine bothers me so much. So I'm gonna go with that one for that question. As far as favorite cover, there are so many in my collection that I love, but I just want to spotlight this one right here, Ray Toma's The Water Dragon Bride. Like, please, oh my gosh. Have y'all read The King's Beast? I'm like, volume 7. I'm like, so good. Also, this one is complete at 11 volumes. If you haven't read The Water Dragon's Bride, I'm just like, chef's kiss. It is so good. I highly recommend. That is my final answer. What manga or series do you love that you absolutely can't believe hasn't gotten more attention? I don't know if it hasn't gotten more attention. I feel like it's gotten more popular. Where is it? Darn it, I moved things around the other day and I'm trying to relearn my setup. Where did I put it? Ah! That's not it. It's not there. It's not there. Where did you sneaky sneak? There you are. This one, 100% Skip and Loafer. I know it's been getting slightly more popular, but I still don't see a lot of people talking about it. It is so cute and it makes me like giggle and LOL super loud, like a teenage girl. I love it so much. It is, Mitsumi is bound for high school in Tokyo. She's got book smarts, but this small town girl is about to find out she's massively underprepared for the social norms of the big city high schoolers. It is so cute and so funny. Guys, please read it. Come talk to me in my DMs. Let's oogle about it. I love it so much. What is your fave manga / anime? My fave manga is actually probably a BL called Don't Be Cruel. I find myself rereading it multiple times a year. I don't know. And how I picked it up was super by accident. I was in a manga store downtown, at least when it still was downtown, and I put it down because I kind of picked it up and looked at the cover. I'm like, oh, that might be interesting. But I didn't actually mean to buy it. Also, I was super underage. And I grabbed the stack and it just happened to be there. And then when I got home, I'm like, oh, I bought it. And then being underage, read it and ended up really enjoying it. And so now we have up to the latest volume years later, but now I'm overage, so now it's fine. So that would definitely be my favorite manga would be Don't Be Cruel. For my favorite anime, I'm like, currently, I'm like, I can't do of all time because I'm like, It changes a lot. Currently, Spy X Family, hands down. I love it so much. It's so cute and so funny. I remember the first episode where he's like, you'll call me like father, but he said it in like Japanese, and she's there, she's like, Chichi, and I'm like, she's so cute. I literally can't even. Anya is absolutely adorable, but those are my two. What is the manga/manga series that you would never give away? Any of them that are hard to collect. Dengeki Daisy, don't even think about it. That is mine. I finally finished collecting it. Thank you so much, Charlie Quinn on Instagram, who sent me volume 10. You're literally the best. I can't even. I'm like, it's so great having pals in other places, let me tell you. I'm like, the internet has been so kind. I've met so many amazing people in the manga community on Instagram. It has been amazing, but Dengeki Daisy would definitely be one. Love Calm, if I ever finish collecting it. I mean, not that I would give away my volumes now. Also, I scored volumes 1 and 2 for like $15 on Facebook Marketplace in like really good condition. Obviously, they didn't know that those volumes go for like $150 to $200 each, so I'm like, yes, big score. Or they just didn't want to like rip people off. So those two series, I would never get rid of. How Ride, my Fruits Baskets collection. I'm like, there's a lot of stuff I wouldn't want to get rid of, but I'm like, I would definitely say number 1 would probably be Dengeki Daisy, just because of how long it took me to finish collecting that. So, that one. This person says, kind of irrelevant, I noticed that you have so many cool looking shoes. Your favorite? That's tricky. I love all my shoes. I'm not sure if I would say like a favorite, but I definitely have ones that I use more often than not. And I would probably say for that would probably be these ones right here. They go with like all my wardrobe, and if the company ever came back with these shoes in stock, I would probably buy another 3 to 4 pairs in this exact style, just because I wear them so much and the sparkles are starting to wear off. Like, I guess theoretically I could put my own sparkles on there, but I'm like, then you gotta like match the sparkles. And for those wanting to know, these are the Sugar Thrills sparkly boots that came out years ago now. I don't even remember, but they are super hardy. They have been loved, and yeah, these are like my faves. And the heel's not super big either, so they're super easy to walk in. Okay, so these next few questions I'm gonna try and combine because they all kind of go together. And one is, do you cosplay? Yes, I do cosplay. What are your cos plans? I am so glad you asked. So I really want to do like Ram, the blue haired and the pink girl, and I know y'all are gonna come for me. I haven't even seen the anime. I just know they're super popular and they're really cute. I want to cosplay them. I already did Bunny Girl Senpai, but I think I want to revamp that. I want to do 02. Actually, I might have already done that one. There's a few cosplays. I'm gonna put up a picture of them so that you guys can peep them. And no, unlike other people, I don't know what all of them are from. I just think the characters are cute. Eventually, I will probably peep the anime or manga that they're from, so y'all can come for me in the comments for that. But those are my cos plans. How did you get into manga/cosplay? I got into manga after a breakup. Well, I guess that's not true. I started collecting manga in early high school, which I mentioned earlier. My friend introduced me to Princess Jellyfish and I collected that, and then I had a few volumes. I want to say by the end of high school I probably had 40 to 50 volumes of different series of manga, some Princess Jellyfish, a few volumes of Vampire Knight, and I think I also had Waiting for Spring, which is a super cute shoujo if you want to peep it. And then out of high school, I didn't really continue collecting. It was just a small shelf. A few years ago, I went through a really bad breakup, and my dad took me out for breakfast, and he's like, do you want to go to the bookstore? And I'm like, sure, why not? Let's go to the bookstore. And he actually got me the first volume of Mint Chocolate. And then this happened. So, some people dye their hair when they get dumped. I spend all my money on manga and anime merch, so that's the tea. As far as cosplay, I've been cosplaying since early high school. So my first cosplay, which I think is on here as well, which is What is your first cosplay? This was my first cosplay. I went as Sinon from Sword Art, or Gun Gale. It was the second one, Gun Gale Online, but Sword Art Online. And I'm pretty proud of that. I like painted the costume and did the wig. We got it from a shop in Seattle, which was super fun, family vacation. And then I also did Taiga and the blue-haired girl from Death Parade, what's her name? I think it's like Nuna or Nona. Don't quote me on that. She's her. And so those were my first cosplays. And how I got into cosplay? Honestly, I'm not too sure. None of my friends really cosplayed. I think there was a few and we went to con a few times together, but they weren't like super heavily into it. So I don't know. I'm like, I just kind of like was going to conventions and I almost felt out of place not in cosplay. So I was like, okay, next year, like I need to like step up my game. I need to like do cosplays. And obviously I'm still like a super noob at cosplays. I have absolutely no idea how to style wigs very well or PVC and foam. I'm like, don't understand that. All my cosplays have been made out of like super cheap foam from like the dollar store, or like I had a Honey Lemon cosplay. I got like a super cheap baseball helmet and I like glued cardboard to it. But I was actually really proud of that cosplay and I made Honey Lemon's bag from like plastic and stuff that I found around the house. So I'm like, you can do cosplay on a budget for like pretty cute. So like I'm proud of that. But I don't know. Yeah, I guess just seeing other people in cosplay inspired me to do cosplay and that's how I got into it. Can we get a shelf tour? Love your Insta. Yes, it's coming soon. I will do a full shelf tour. It might be like 2 parts. I might do like shoujo and then BL and shonen, or like if you guys want it all in one video, leave that in the comments. Let me know. I want to cater to you. Like, what was it? This? Eee. I'm like trying to like do some sort of hand things. Anyways, what's something that you like to collect that isn't manga? I already kind of talked about shoes. Let's talk about Loungefly bags and totes, because I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so good. I love Loungefly bags. They are also super pricey. Why is it that all my hobbies cost a lot of money? Loungefly bags, the ones that I have, range from, I think the cheapest one I got was $60 up to $200. And again, big shout out to my sweet friend Charlie Quinn on Instagram, who sent me the Care Bear one. I did pay for it, but sweet beans. They don't, friggin' Loungefly doesn't ship to Canada, and the one website that does normally, they didn't want to, and so she helped me out, get me that precious Care Bear bag, which I love so much. My brother got me this Rapunzel one for Christmas. I have my Pom Pom Pern one. I got a Ponyo and Sailor Moon one off Depop before getting scammed one time, and super cute. I love them. The Mulan one's new. I love it so much. It glows in the dark, and y'all, like, oh, that's so cool. Bambi, and yes, half of these bags have not even been used, but they're pretty and I like them. So someone actually asked me, do you read your manga? And I'm like, yeah, of course I read my manga. What do you think? These are expensive decorations? I'm like, that's literally what my Loungefly bags are right now. Like, some of them have not even been used, but I love Loungefly bags and totes. Many people have seen my tote collection full of anime, and I think I have like a Yona of the Dawn one. I have 2 of those actually. I have Nezuko and Chainsaw Man, and I have a few other ones, which kind of leads into the question, where do you get all your anime merch? Your Yona, someone's pointed out my Yona of the Dawn shirt. I get those from Redbubble. Sponsor me! I've done a few videos for them on my other channel. I get all my anime and manga like totes and shirts and all that from Redbubble. I also actually have, yeah, look, oh my gosh, they happen to be right here. I get all these notebooks from them too. Look, we got Kami-sama Kiss, we have Horimiya, got a little bit of Animal Crossing here. Ooh, BJ Alex, like Steven Universe. And I think that's, yeah, that's it. But like, they have so many cool things. They also have like water bottles and sweatshirts and a bunch of other cool stuff alongside of like t-shirts and totes. But that's where I get that. So hopefully that answers that question. I'll probably do like a full video of like everything I have and get the links and stuff. But yeah, Redbubble, sponsor me. Like, I tell a lot of people this. So yeah. How do you afford getting so much manga? I can't. I'm super broke. I'm like, bank account, 0. Pretty much all my paycheck goes into my hobbies. Well, I mean, like, obviously I have to put a little bit into savings, but I'm like, a fair portion goes into my hobbies and things that I love. So yeah, I'm broke. I mean, like, I only work 9 to 3. I get paid, definitely not government wage, that's for sure. So yeah, it's just saving for the things you love and, you know, aiming where you want to put your spendings. I mean, I am super blessed that I still live at home. My parents don't charge me rent, which is amazing, but I do things around the house, so that kind of like evens things out. But I'm like, if y'all lived where it's expensive, and I know other places are expensive and other people not might have the luxuries that I have of living at home, but my parents are also super sweet and they're like, save your money, it's expensive out there. So yeah. Also, like, I am literally so red. It is so hot in my room, but I can't open the window because some kid's playing basketball and I can just hear the thumping, which I'm hoping is not being picked up by the microphone. So I'm sorry, I'm a little sweaty mess. But anyways, we shall move on. What kind of work do you do? Okay, yeah. So, not rich. Pointing that out right now. I am not rich. I am super broke. Hashtag broke AF. I work as a social media coordinator for a local news company, which is super, super fun, and most of my day I spend on Instagram and on TikTok trying to find local trends that we can use to do in campaigns. Obviously, there is like the boring side to it, which is campaign reports, but I still find those pretty enjoyable. I like seeing what campaigns do well, and I like seeing that where we can improve and all that. I like working in social media. It's a lot of fun. So, do you read mangas of the library? That's what they said. Is that like the ancient Manga's Bride? Are they the same thing? Are they different? I've never heard of that if that's a specific series, so I'm gonna say no, but I will look it up and I will peep it because it does sound interesting. What's your favorite romance manga? Who asked this? I love them all. They're so good. I'm like, how do you make me choose one? There's so many good ones. I'm like, I love Dengeki Daisy. I'm like, that will always be in like my top. Run High School Host Club. The King's Beast. I'm like, does that count as shoujo? I'm gonna count it. It's on my shoujo shelves, so I would say Perfect World. Oh my gosh, that one's so good. So good. I love it so much. Another one would probably be, is Skip Beat a shoujo? Because I'm like, I just got into it, and I'm not the biggest fan of older style manga and stuff. I know that we had to start somewhere to get where we are, but I actually really love the concept of it, and I'm like, this girl is like kicking ass. Oh my gosh, we love her. But yeah, so I have a lot of favorite romance. We're gonna go with Dengeki Daisy because I hype about that one all the time, so we're gonna go with that. The manga that made you start collecting manga. Again, that could either be Princess Jellyfish, which was my first ever manga, or the manga that my dad got me because I got dumped. Actually, no, I didn't get dumped. I dumped him. It was a sad time. I felt like I got dumped. It felt like I got like stabbed in the heart because it was like 2 years. But anyways, so yeah, either Princess Jellyfish or Mint Chocolate. Those would be the two that I guess started either side of my collecting. A trope you're tired of seeing in manga. I don't know. I'm like, I am all for cheesy things. I love cheesy tropes. So I'm like, there's never been a trope that I've been super tired of. However, one series that I will say, not that I'm tired of it, but it's like so predictable would be LDK, Living Room, Dining Room, Kitchen. I'm like, I read it and I know exactly, I mean, like, obviously I've read it, so like, I know what's gonna happen, but I'm like, it's just so cheesy. You know exactly what's gonna happen. He like does the kabedon and I'm like, is he gonna kiss her? And I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, he is. Of course he is. Like, it's just, it's like almost like predictable cheesy. So I'm like, I don't like, I still love them. But I'm like, that particular series bothers me a little bit. So yeah. A topic you'd like to see tackled more in anime or manga. The power of friendship. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm like, I feel like diversity maybe. I'm like, the manga's pretty good. They've got a good LGBTQ. Actually, you know what? No. I want to see more like My Love mix up where they like combine the two. I haven't seen a lot. I know I need to read Blue Flag. I've heard that one is really, really good. But like ones where they mix it, like I know there's like girl love and there's boy love and the genres are separate, but I want more manga that talks about sexuality but with like boys and girls in the same one. Like I feel like it's always separate. Like if you read a boys love, why are they always at boys schools? And I'm like, I don't read a lot of girls love. The ones that I have, they like a few of them were at like high schools, but like the boy characters weren't really talking. Like I feel like in society you have friends of both genres, and I just want to know where they are, and I want everyone to talk about it, and I want them to feel loved and safe in their space. And also you guys, I want you always to feel safe. This is a safe space. I love you. I support you. So, mwah. How would you recommend taking aesthetic photos of manga? I try, but I always feel like I fall flat. That's a tricky one because everyone's style and like angle of stuff is different. I always like to I don't really know. I don't really have like a super tip on that. Maybe I'll make a whole video on how I take my manga pictures if that's something you guys would be into. If you follow me on Instagram, do you want to know? I can let you know that I edit all my photos on my phone first. I then edit them in line camera. It is like a 3-app editing process. It takes a little bit of time, but I think it turns out well in the end. My biggest tip though would be lighting. I know people are like, keep your manga at a direct sunlight, and I'm like, you know what? Books are gonna get old, books are gonna yellow, and I don't wanna like put them in plastic because that's bad for the earth, and I don't think we should be using like single-use plastic, and I know it saves your books, and I'm not downing anyone who does that. If you wanna wrap your books in like manga protection things, that is totally up to you. It is not my thing, especially because I'm like, I would also just be really impatient having to like undo it nicely to not wreck the cover and then put it back in. Like, that's too much time. So, but good lighting. I have, what, is mine a north facing window? I don't know. I have some decent sunlight coming in, so like getting photos in natural light and then just tweaking the lighting. I hope that helps. As far as aesthetic pictures, I try to find like a limited, not busy background. Like if you're gonna do a background with books, maybe like blur the back so that the main focus is the books that you're trying to take a picture of. I'm gonna look into doing a video on this because I want to help you out. So, are there any series on your shelves that you reread every year? Yes, like I mentioned earlier, I read Don't Be Cruel multiple times a year. I would say Run High School Host Club gets 2 rereads a year because I love that series so much. If I'm not rereading it twice, I'm reading it and then watching it. So definitely love that series. I would say Snow White of the Red Hair, I definitely read more than once. And there's one more that I read quite a bit. Oh, I read The Heiress and the Chauffeur, which is a 2-part, super quick shoujo, and it is super sweet, and I find myself rereading that one just because I know I can get over it really quick so that I'm not having to like go it deep into a series. So those guys there. When can we get a manga shelf tour? I think I mentioned this earlier. I think there was a similar question. Soon. It's coming soon. I plan to film that within the next few weekends, so coming soon. What's been a few of your favorite reads this year? A few of my favorite reads have definitely been the book, The Savior's, what is it called? Where is it? The Savior's Book Cafe in Another World. Oh my gosh. I remember getting volume 1 and I was like, oh, I don't have a lot of isekais, but I'm like, that one was so good. And I'm like, she just wants to like live her life in her little bookstore. But she was like, oh, if I'm going, like, there's gotta be something in it for me. And she's like, what is it, bartering with this like shiny orb that's like a god. It's so good. Y'all need to read it. It is so good. Another one would be Sasaki and Miyano, which I know got an anime adaptation, which I still need to watch, but it is so cute. I love it so much. Also, we're on volume 5 and nothing has happened yet, so like volume 6, you better come through. I've seen, I think, spoilers of chapters that have been released online, so I'm like, I've got high hopes for it. So, but I'm like, oh, those ones are so cute. One's a BL, the Sasaki and Miyano, and the other one is like a isekai romance. Highly, highly recommend. Both of them are so good. What series have you been trying to collect for the longest time? Lovecom. Lovely Complex. Oh my gosh. It is, I'm pretty sure it's out of print, and volumes are ridiculous amounts. Oh my gosh. Like volumes 1 and 2 I know alone can go for $150 to $200 each. I have volumes 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 14, 17, and I do have volumes 10 and 12 on a back order. Whether they actually come in or not, who knows, but I'm like, I just have a sneaking suspicion that that's gonna be like a life achievement one day. I'm gonna be like 30 something and I'm gonna get the final volume and I'm gonna be like, yes, this is the best day ever, and it's finally gonna happen. Another one I guess would be Kami-sama Kiss, but I know volumes are slowly but surely coming back into stock because it's not out of print. So if you're still wanting to get your hands on that, all you just gotta do, you just gotta be patient. Do not fall for the scalpers, them saying that it's out of print. It is not. They're just really slow at reprinting right now. I think for like any series, like everything's slowly coming back in stock, so you just gotta be patient. You just gotta wait. And the last question, we're here at the end. Thank you for those who have made it here, because I know this is going to be a Mac Daddy of a video, is what are some of your favorite hidden gem mangas? I don't even know if I have hidden gem mangas. I feel like hidden gem mangas are the mangas that are like old, like, you know, because I feel like everyone's got all the ones that I have. Like, I don't know if I've got any that people wouldn't have. I mean, like Maid Sama, does that count as a hidden gem? Probably not. Everyone knows Maid Sama. I'm like, I like Honey So Sweet. That was a super cute shoujo. I'm like Stepping on Roses and Butterfly Flowers and also the Sand Chronicles are all amazing shoujos that I guess, like the last question, your girl is gonna be spending some time freaking collecting them because the volumes are hard to find and it sucks. And I'm sad about that. But I'm like, it is what it is. I guess another hidden gem would be, I'm like, if you're into BL, I'm like, Don't Be Cruel. I feel like it's not as big as like Given or Finder or Love Stage. Actually, no, Love Stage would be the hidden gem. It's so cute. I loved the anime. So adorable. I don't know. The rest of these are like all super popular and super mainstream. I would say Kare First Love, this one here, it is super cute and I love it. It's an older style one. I guess that would be like a hidden gem. I love it. The volumes are super hard to get. I was actually really thankful that at the time Right Step Anime had almost all of them in stock, and I think I paid a little bit more than retail. I think it was like $30 for volume 4 or something, and it came in on Amazon, but I did get it brand new. But it is super cute and I love it so much, so yeah. That would be my hidden gems, I guess, if you want to call them that. Alright, my nerds, thank you for watching my first video on Sunshine Manga. Let me know, I don't know, like, is there any questions that we have? Did I answer all the questions? If you have more, maybe we'll do a part 2 eventually. Leave them in the comments. I think the next video is either going to be a shelf tour or a manga shopping vlog. Who knows? I plan to upload every Wednesday at 5 p.m. PST. So yeah, that is all I have for today. I love you a lot and I will see you in the next one. Bye!